According to the suggested puppy names in the database at dognameswoof.com, people certainly have given their dogs interesting, yet most likely fitting names. If you've ever owned a mischievous pet, you might sympathize with those that have given their dogs such names as Barkowski, Beano, Chewy, Chewbarka, Drooly, Duchess Punky Shoe Stealer Punkowski, or my personal favorite, Skunk Poodle. I'm Pastor Barry Phipps, sharing the long and the short of it today about labels that stick. When I was a young man, I remember a dog that was told stop it so often that it became its de facto name. This furry beast got into so much trouble and heard the word stop it so many times that the dog literally thought its name was Stop It. It's funny how naughty behavior sometimes leads to a label that sticks. Now wait a minute. Could it be that you and I do this with people as well? Even sometimes perhaps we do this with our children or other people around us that we love. How many people do we know that have been unable to shake the indelible designation from our devastating words? Now we may not have meant to be hurtful, but their behavior disappointed us. They made us angry, maybe momentarily frustrated. So in the emotion of the moment, we launched into a verbal assault. Now words are like arrows. It only takes a second. With the tension of the bow, the strings are released and you can't get that arrow back. Our children are the most negatively impacted by these wounding words because they are the most vulnerable among us. If we're not careful, they may end up living out the labels that we speak over them. If we call them dumb or lazy or worthless, well, we might as well write it on a sticky note and fasten it to their heart with super glue. Labels have a way of sticking with our children. And it's true, our kids are also watching their parents intently, internalizing, and then mirroring back in their own lives how mom and dad speak to one another. Now, understanding the power of words is key if we want to be a positive influence to those around us. Proverbs 18:21 says it this way: the tongue has the power of life and death. It has the power of life and death at work, at school, in all of our friendships. When you call your little girl princess, or when I call my grandson my buddy, or you call your friend brilliant or fun, one cannot overestimate the invisible yet lasting positive imprint upon their soul. Now, I personally understand the power of scarring words. I remember the put-downs. When growing up, my dad was both physically and verbally abusive to my younger sister and me, but after giving his life to Jesus, my father used his words to cast vision in our lives. He lifted us up, even sometimes embarrassingly, with public praise. Now, I'm thankful for a Father in heaven who is unashamed in the names he calls you and me as well. Now, he calls you God's workmanship. That's in Ephesians 2:10. He calls you a friend of Jesus, John 15:15. Chosen, Colossians 3:12. God calls you my treasured possession, Exodus 19:15. My beloved son and daughter, James 2:5. And he says that you are purchased by the blood of his son, Revelation 5:9. So the long and the short of it is, you may need to be immersed in the value and the love that comes from opening up your life to Jesus. What he did on the cross for you is a powerful statement of your worth that no negative words ever spoken over you could ever mute. Now remember, you may name your dog many names: Queen Fufflepuff, Indiana Bones, Lil Snot, Mr. Woofles, Mr. Abby Chuto. I don't know what you may name your dog, but know this, that no person is ever named stupid. Not when God says they are his treasured possession.